Governor of Enugu State, Mr. Peter Mbah. This very press conference is informed by some disturbing emerging developments in Enugu, especially after the DG of the NYSC came out on national television to repudiate the NYSC discharge certificate being paraded by the newly sworn-in governor. You may recall that the newly sworn-in governor of Enugu State, Mr. Peter Mbah, has been on a voyage of forum shopping in desperate attempt to illegally keep himself in power. It is this desperation that has led him to different courts in both Enugu and Abuja, wherein he has made efforts to procure black market injunctions to forestall the inquiry into how he procured the fake NYSC discharge certificates that he parades. In one of such separate moves by Mr. Mbah, he made attempts to gag the NYSC by getting a pliant judge to issue him with a black market order that sought to abridge and erode the powers of the Enugu State Governorship Election Tribunal and the NYSC, constitutionally created bodies, from carrying out their statutory and constitutional functions. Curiously, when the NYSC entered appearance in the case and filed more damning evidence in support of their position that the discharge certificate by Mr. Peter Mbah, that the discharge certificate Mr. Peter Mbah parades did not emanate from the call, both the judge that attempted to issue the said order and the plaintiff have abandoned the case in apparent realization that there was no headway for them. Twice, the matter had come up since NYSC entered appearance, but both the judge and the plaintiff's lawyers were nowhere to be found. One now begins to wonder why Mr. Peter Mbah has chosen to run away from a matter he instituted. Kindly note that since the revelation by the NYSC and its Director General that the document Mr. Peter Mbah parades was forged, the governor has launched a syndicated campaign of calumny against the NYSC and its Director General. At a time, the NYSC is celebrating 50 years of unblemished existence and service to Nigerians, some centrifugal elements whose pastime it is to subvert the system should be restrained from destroying General Yakubu Gowon's beautiful gift to Nigeria. The above exhortation is vital, given that the governor, like a bull in a china shop, has a litany of inglorious past records of penchants for destruction of revered institutions. You may recall that shortly after the exit of Mr. Peter Mbah as the Commissioner for Finance of Enugu State in 2007, the State Ministry of Finance office was gutted by fire in some circumstances that bore the imprimatur of an orchestrated plan designed to destroy evidence. Also kindly remember that when Senator Chimaroke Nnamani, the former governor of the state, was charged with corruption, Mbah's name was initially included by the EFCC after a rigorous and painstaking investigations that revealed that he had a case to answer in the mindless plundering of the state between 1999 and 2007. As a result of the EFCC's investigation, 31-count charge was preferred against Mbah and his co-accused by the EFCC at the Federal High Court, Lagos. However, how Mbah's name was thereafter surreptitiously struck out in the course of the prosecution still baffles Enugu people till date. Again, during the fuel subsidy probe of the Jonathan administration, Mr. Mbah and his pinnacle oil were invited for questioning by the House of Representatives ad hoc committee on the probe of the fuel subsidy regime of that administration. Enugu people still wonder till date how he managed to wriggle out of that subsidy probe. Currently, Mr. Mbah is back in his elements, trying to destroy both the judiciary and the NYSC in a desperate bid to foist himself on the Enugu people who rejected him at the poll on 18th March 2023. In taking you back memory lane, you may recall that Mbah's NYSC saga blew open after the NYSC's response to a Freedom of Information inquiry by a law firm seeking confirmation on the validity of the discharge certificate Mr. Mbah submitted to the INEC for 2023 election. When the NYSC responded and repudiated the certificate, a non-governmental organization brought a direct criminal complaint of forgery of NYSC certificate against Mbah at the Zone 6 Magistrate Court in Abuja. The court thereafter ordered the AIG Zone 7 to carry out investigation on the authenticity of the said NYSC certificates. The AIG, on his part, wrote to the NYSC to confirm the authenticity of the disputed NYSC certificates. As can be gleaned from the court filings made by the NYSC in response to Mbah's suit against the call, it is evident that the NYSC had long responded to the police inquiry by sending a letter that repudiated the discharge certificate to the Office of the Inspector General of Police. While the police, therefore, have chosen not to respond to the order of the Use Magistrate Court, still bears the hallmark of Mbah's pattern of compromising every conceivable institution. Having set the above tone, we wish to therefore forewarn Nigerians as follows. The implication of allowing Peter Mbah to destroy the NYSC in the manner he had in the past destroyed other institutions of government is that going forward, issuing authorities in Nigeria will no longer be the authorities saddled with the responsibility of confirming the authenticity of certificates issued by them. For the straight understanding of Nigerians, the import of the dangerous game Peter Mbah is playing with his NYSC discharge certificate saga is that in the unlikely event that he succeeds in getting the court to validate his non-existent NYSC discharge certificates, all that is required of anyone who goes to a business center to forge a certificate of an institution is to go to court to get an order validating that certificate, and that way the certificate would be accepted as being authentic, irrespective of such certificate having not been issued by the appropriate issuing authority. We therefore urge Nigerians not to stand by and allow one desperate fellow destroy the integrity of a national asset that has served Nigerians well since 1973. NYSC needs our collective protection from desperate power scavengers who have over time acquired notoriety for the destruction of anything that stands in the way of their inordinate ambition. NYSC is the issuing authority for discharge certificates of core members. It is not Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company. It is not any business center. What Peter Mbah is doing is that what the argument is trying to make here is that anybody could go to a business center. If you attend a university, for example, universities always have printing presses that produce university certificates for them. And it is the university that issues that certificate to you and not the printing press. And the argument of Peter Mbah is that Nigerian Security Printing and Minting Company confirmed that they printed the certificate he parades. But they are not the issuing authority of that certificate. NYSC is the issuing authority of the certificate. So NYSC could have engaged any business center at UTC to print that certificate for them. And in that case, what Peter Mbah is trying to say is that if he had been a printing press somewhere in UTC that printed that certificate, if he says, I printed this for NYSC, then so be it. What they do for NYSC is that they put security features in the certificates. And NYSC is the one the body that is mandated to put down the name of whoever they feel. It's a blank certificate that they print for NYSC. So NYSC puts the names of whoever they want as having satisfactorily served to be issued with that certificate. So what we are saying is that Nigerians need to rise in defense of NYSC because they are the issuing authority of NYSC discharge certificates and not any other body. And that the newly sworn-in governor of Enugu State is trying to destroy NYSC. They have been all over the media, engaging some hack writers to write certain things against the NYSC and the Director General for carrying out their statutory and constitutional duties as enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria.
Okay, secondly,
we are urging them, both Peter Mbah and his handlers, to stay away from this. This is before Enugu State Governorship Election Tribunal. This is before a Federal High Court in Abuja here. This is before Magistrate Court in Zone 6, this same NYSC issue. But they have left the court. Like I said in this press statement, the court had this matter came up twice. One came up last week, and both the judge that they sought to give them order, the last time the matter came up, they refused to appear in the matter, both the plaintiff and the judge. And if they feel that they have a good case to handle in that direction, they should leave this for courts to decide. But they are going about in the media smearing the name of NYSC. So we are urging Nigerians, in line with what you're asking for, or what you're asking, that they should all wait till the court decide on this matter. There is no need to tarnish NYSC's image. The message here is that NYSC needs protection from being destroyed by some politicians who that is our central.